All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Legend of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up homebrew D&D campaign setting, and the people below me are starting to plot my death after the session we had last week. And I think they're completely justified in their plotting. So, yeah. Announcements. The new 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide has come out. I have started reading through it. It looks like a Dungeon Master's Guide. So that's cool.
But it's an actual Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah. We were talking before we went live. We were talking about the fact that reading the new PHB and the new DMG, it is blatantly obvious that for 50 years, Dungeons and Dragons books have been written for people that already know how to play Dungeons and Dragons. They have never attempted to write a book for people that don't already know how to play. And now these two new books actually have sections for, hey, have you not played an RPG before? Have you not played D&D before? Here, let's teach you how it works, how RPGs work. And it is such a weird thing that it took them 50 years to realize maybe we should market to people that don't play our game.
So now I'm interested in how that's going to affect all the other people who who are influenced. I want to say
Oh yeah,
they are influenced by D&D because D&D kind of does set the standard for a lot of things.
Yeah, the entire market of RPGs, if you pick up the equivalent of a DMG for any other system, it works the exact same way that D&D does. RPGs are not really targeted for people that don't play, are targeted to people that don't play RPGs. They expect someone that already plays to teach you how to play and then for you to buy the books. That's why anytime you look for advice about like how to prep and stuff like that, it's never part of a core book. It's always either a book published by an independent author or like a YouTube video by like someone like me, because it's just not something that any company has ever thought about putting into one of their books. And it's actually in the new DMG. Like they have suggestions about this is how much time you should prep, and this is how you should prep, and these are the things that you should prep, and these are the items you need to play, and these are things that can make things easier for you to play, and this is what box text is. Like, that's the thing that blew my mind. I know what box text is because I've been running pre-written adventures for over a decade. You have to know what box text is. But I learned what box text was when I was being taught by another dungeon master how to run a pre-written adventure. And that's how most people learn what box text is. Now, they didn't call it that was the only thing that annoyed me, is they didn't call it box text. But in the first chapter, which is the only part of the book I've read thus far, I've gotten like 2/3 of the way through the first chapter. But they talk about this is box text, but they don't call it box text. So, yeah, like I said, it's fascinating. It is absolutely fascinating that it's taken them this long to realize, maybe targeting people that don't already play our game is a good idea. Or expecting our players to do most of the work at finding new people to join the hobby. So that's been fun. The Welcome to Night Vale TTRPG backer kit, I think, ends tonight. If it hasn't already ended. I backed it. I'm excited about it. I love Essence 20 in general. I can't wait to see what they do with a very, very different license than what they've had. In addition to that, I think the Discworld TTRPG thing is still going on for at least a few more days, right?
Should be.
There's a couple other ones that are still going on right now. I just picked up, it is, because it's October, it is officially World of Darkness month over at Renegade Game Studios. And there's currently a Humble Bundle that I think has like a day or two left, where you can get almost the entire print run of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, almost the entire print run of Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition, and almost the entire print run of Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition. So I picked that up because I already owned a couple vampire 5th edition books, but I didn't have Hunter or Werewolf. So that was fun. And downloading it from Renegade was a pain in the ass because unlike every other time I've downloaded shit from Renegade, this one, all of the file names were random letters and numbers. Like it was just the hexadecimal code. And so every time I downloaded something, I had to manually change the name so I would know what the fuck it was. So, other than that, I now own a shit ton of World of Darkness stuff. Which I already did, but...
I think they call it By Night Studios, so they have all the, the LA by Night, the San Francisco by Night, and all the ones. There is a By Night Studio, they have all of that. They've recently announced 2 plushies that they're releasing. One is Jasper, Alex Ward's character, the Nosferatu guy. The other one is Jason Carl.
I was about to say, they need a Jason Carl plushie.
Yeah. They did. That's the other plushie.
If they didn't make a Jason Carl plushie, I would be very upset. If anyone doesn't know, Jason Carl is one of the... I don't know if he's the creator or he's just a current writer for Vampire the Masquerade. But he also does a lot of live plays. Like he did a live play with Geek and Sundry, which is where... Jasper,
the original LA by Night.
And then he did a live play with Penny Arcade that I think he still does, called Seattle by Night, and he's done other things. So he's a really, really good. They call their game master storytellers.
He also does do. He also does do a lot of the, not all the time, but he does D&D in a castle.
Yeah, he's a really, really he's a great storyteller, and he's a really cool dude. I haven't had a chance to meet him in person before, but I've watched a lot of the stuff that he does, and he's really good at what he does. So, yeah, other announcer mint type stuff. Trying to think of anything else is good going on. In the U.S., everything is completely calm. Nobody is freaking out about really stupid things that are all going to be over. Well, they should all be over in less than a week. They're not going to be, but they should be. But that has absolutely nothing to do, and obviously nothing is going on right now. And I just want it to be over. So bad.
I know, buddy. My only thing is, please vote. Nothing is a slam dunk. Vote. Just vote.
Yeah. Doesn't even matter who you vote for. Like, I support anyone voting for anyone. Just go out and vote. It's a good idea. It's a good thing to get into practice of. Also, here's another fun fact that a lot of people don't understand. Presidential election, really cool. Really, really popular. Doesn't really affect you that much. Really doesn't. You want to know what affects you? Local elections. They will affect the hell out of you. So, yes, vote for whomever you would like to be the new president of the United States. It's perfectly fine. They don't have the power that a lot of people think they do. But while you're doing that, vote for, like, your district attorney and vote for, like, if your Supreme Court or, local judges and stuff, if those are elected and not appointed, vote for those, because they're going to have a significantly bigger impact on everybody's life than whomever is sitting in the Oval Office. So, there, I've done my little spiel about voting. I can feel like a good citizen.
And you can also check vote.org. You can check the status of your ballot. You can vote and then check to make sure it's accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So if you voted by mail, you can check on it.
So, Daniel just reminded me, they officially released a trailer for Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, which is the new beat-em-up that is coming out, and it has an official day. I think it's December 10th, right?
I think so, yeah.
It was the official release date to the trailer. It looks so good. Yeah. I grew up, like, if you didn't grow up in the 90s playing video games, beat-em-ups seem really, really weird. Like, they're a bizarre idea. What? There's no story. You just walk to the right, punching everybody that shows up, and every so often you eat chicken that came out of an oil barrel. This sounds, or you find hamburgers on the street. This sounds like a really bad idea, but it's not. It's an amazing thing, and there were so many of them. Like the '90s was just full of beat 'em ups, and some of them were amazing, like X-Men and
Ninja Turtles,
The Simpsons, and Ninja Turtles. And then there were other ones that were just god awful. And the Super Nintendo had some of the best console beat 'em ups ever. They had Final Fight. They had Brawl Brothers, which was not a good beat 'em up, but I loved it.
Bad Dudes.
Bad Dude. They had so many. Capcom made a shit ton of beat 'em ups. There's a thing. It's called the Capcom Fighting Collection that you can get on like everywhere. And I have it on my computer, and it's got Knights of the Round, which is by far one of the greatest beat 'em ups ever. But the actual greatest beat 'em up is one that's called King of Dragons. And it is so good. You have all these different classes, and they all play differently, and they level up as you go, and you can be like a wizard or an archer or a sword dude. It's so much fun. And then there's also a D&D beat 'em up called there was Tower of Doom, and I can't remember what the second one was, but now you could buy them on Steam in a package called Chronicles of Mystara, and they are amazing. And they're anime D&D games because they were made in Japan.
Wasn't it ones like Golden Axe?
Golden Axe was on Sega, and it is their one beat 'em up that everybody knows, and it's an okay beat 'em up, but it's not great. Like a lot of people view
Golden Axe is the one I remember from the arcade.
They view Golden Axe through these like rose-colored lenses, because if you were a Sega owner, you didn't really have that many beat 'em ups to choose from compared to the Super Nintendo, which would get a new beat 'em up every other Tuesday. So yeah, everyone considers Golden Axe this amazing, wonderful thing, and it's okay. But if you compare it to something like they had Streets of Rage too, and Streets of Rage was really, really good. The first one and the third one were amazing, and the second one was okay. The third one you can play as a dude with roller skates or rollerblades. Like you just kind of rollerblade around and then kick people with them. It's super fun. And because you are cops in this one, you have a special screen clearing maneuver, which, unlike like most beat 'em ups have them, and it'll normally be like, I spin my arms around, yeah, or I do something. You know what they do in Streets of Rage? They go, hey, we need help. And it cuts to a squad car with a bazooka. This cop is just sitting there, and he has a bazooka. He shoots it in the air and then rains hellfire on everybody. It's the coolest screen clearing maneuver ever. When you can just call someone up and go, hey, you still got that bazooka? Could you like use it now and hit everybody but me? So, yeah. New Power Rangers beat 'em up. It looks amazing. I want it right now. Oh, and as we talked about before the stream went live, the Veilguard launches. Dragon Age The Veilguard launches tomorrow. And everybody is upset about it for some reason. Either they're upset that the game is horrible, or they're upset that the game is amazing and people are saying that it's horrible, or they're upset about this, or they're upset about that. Everybody's mad, and I just want to play the damn game.
Make sure to buy it and then tell everyone why you're so angry about it.
Yeah. I really hate pre-orders and stuff like that, but you get a really cool armor set if you pre-order the Veilguard. So of course I pre-ordered the Veilguard. It also means that I get to play it. Like I have it, it's pre-downloaded on my PS5 already. So I will be playing it the second I can. I think it's 11 a.m. Central Time is when it goes live. So at 11:01, I will be creating my character. And I think I'm going to go mage, because they have a sword mage type specialization for it, and I love playing sword mage characters. Or I think it's called Spellblade or something like that. I played the shit out of Inquisition. Like I've played every single class. I've romanced everybody but Sarah, because she's a lesbian and I never play female characters, so I never got to romance Sarah, but I romanced everybody else. Yeah. I'm excited. Everyone else in the world is losing their mind over a stupid video game, but I'm excited. Also, in the same thread, Humble Bundle every so often does comics bundles. They currently have a Dragon Age and Mass Effect comics bundle, where you can get a bunch of Dragon Age comics and a bunch of Mass Effect comics if you're into that stuff. I purchased. They had a Power Rangers comic bundle, and it was amazing. I'm still slowly making my way through the Boom Studios comic run, and it's Boom Studio is just so good. Like, it's crazy how awesome the Power Rangers comics are. So, yeah. Other than that, tomorrow's Halloween, so enjoy. When I was a child, we weren't allowed to celebrate Halloween because of an evil satanic holiday. And we were the assholes that when kids came to our door for trick-or-treating, I wasn't allowed to go trick-or-treating. I was allowed to stand at the door and hand out testaments. And if you're wondering what those are little chalk-flavored candy that have Bible verses on them.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I remember there was the house that actually handed out little Bibles.
Yeah, we weren't quite that nuts. But, yeah, nobody ate the testaments. They weren't enjoyable to eat, but each one had a little Bible verse on it, and we were sharing our faith with the heathens that were celebrating this horrible satanic holiday. I did not dress up for Halloween until I was in college.
My friends are actually giving away books as well as candy.
That's cool.
But, like, good kids' books.
No, yeah, they're giving out Ulysses.
Nope.
The Old Man in the Sea.
No. The Anarchist Cookbook.
Yeah.
Just giving out copies of the Anarchist Cookbook. It fits the theme. I just think this part of me really wants to go to like
here you go, kids. Anarchist Cookbook and a chemistry set. There you go.
Yeah.
Fight the power.
Genuinely.
What's napalm?
Genuinely, I think it would be hilarious to give out copies of books that I hated reading in high school with candy in them, just to do things like, here's The Old Man in the Sea, which is a phenomenon. The worst thing about this is a lot of the books that I hated in high school, I didn't hate them because they were bad books. I hated them because the teachers were obsessed with finding meaning in them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But teachers can also, across the board, agree, like, hey, these books, they're not a high school reading level. Like, Old Man of the Sea, Catcher in the Rye, it's actually, they're supposed to be, Shakespeare. Shakespeare's great. Shakespeare's not really meant for high school, especially not, freshman and sophomore.
Maybe it's because I was an actor, but I actually enjoyed the Shakespeare stuff. And that was the weird thing. I studied so little Shakespeare in the entirety of my education. Like, even going to school as an actor, I did not study Shakespeare almost at all. I think I read Romeo and Juliet when I was in 8th grade, because we had a really cool book where it had Romeo and Juliet in the first half of it and West Side Story in the second half of the book, so that you could compare the scenes. Because West Side Story is literally, it's not just, they took the idea of Romeo and Juliet and they modernized. No, it's literally a retelling of Romeo and Juliet to the point where the scenes coincide. Like, there's a balcony scene. The soft what light at yonder window breaks. That's in West Side Story. And Anita plays the part of the nurse. It's 100% just a retelling. It's really fascinating. But anyway, so yeah, I think it'd be funny though to give out copies of Ulysses and just watch the kids go, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never even read Ulysses.
Just hand out banned books.
Just do that. Balzac. Chaucer. Sorry, I've been on...
Mouse, was that one? The got banned?
I don't know. I've been on a Music Man kick recently because I'm getting to the point, like, one of the first speaking roles I had when I was a kid was playing Tommy Gillis in The Music Man. And now I've gotten old enough where I could legitimately play Harold Hill. so they're going, oh, wow. And so, yeah, in that they were really, really upset because the librarian recommended things like Chaucer and Balzac and another French author that I could never remember his name. Everyone knows Chaucer's dirty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is Maus, M-A-U-S, and that was the one that was a Pulitzer Prize-winning graphic novel about the Holocaust. And so they school banned it. Hand that one out. Go to just look LeVar Burton. Just like, hey, all the books that got banned, just go to his profile, see what got banned.
I remember, I think To Kill a Mockingbird was banned for a while. When I was in school, To Kill a Mockingbird was banned. And then by the time I got to high school, it was no longer banned. And it's a nonsense.
Yeah.
It's nonsense how good that book. It's brilliantly written.
One of the local bookstores by them actually has a section on banned books, and it has like a guide telling you why each one was banned, and books from just
Catcher in the Rye was banned.
That you would be very surprised by.
Yeah, Catcher in the Rye was banned, and I think we should go back to banning Catcher in the Rye because it's a boring ass book.
Yeah, I hate to say it. Some books are boring. It
sucks. It is the dumbest thing in the world. And every teacher I've ever had talk about Catcher in the Rye talks about the incredible symbolism. The dude, J.D. Salinger, the dude that wrote it, said there was no symbolism. All this shit that everybody says about like Holden being about there's no symbolism. There's no symbolism in the entire book. It's just a story about a kid that doesn't like rich preppy people. That's the entire book. It's what it is, and he doesn't fit in, and that's what the book's about. It has nothing to do with class warfare or anything like that. You guys are making shit up.
I love it when the author will eventually go like, nah. And they're like, whatever it means to no, fuck you. You wrote the book. You know damn well what you did. It can mean things to you, but so, yeah, the author like no.
Moral of the story: don't ban books unless it's Catcher in the Rye. Then ban the fuck out of it.
As a person with, I only was diagnosed with dyslexia as an adult. I have read 3 books in my life.
Ooh.
And I think they're all boring.
All books are dumb. And it's... Oh, another thing that happened recently.
Carrie, I love you. Buy her book.
Kiri recently announced on her Instagram and everywhere else. I think we have an official release date for Hemlock, which is her new book series. It's next October, so we have a little under a year before it comes out. But super excited. Kiri's a friend of the channel and a friend of mine. She's wonderful. She's amazing. I own 2 of her other books. She's published more than that. She actually has a play that she published called Funeral Potatoes, which sounds like a nonsense word, but it's a real thing.
If you're from the Midwest, you probably have heard of funeral potatoes.
You probably had funeral potatoes,
aka Jesus potatoes.
Yeah, like they're a thing. When you go to funerals, it's a dish. It's a potato based casserole, and you generally make it for a funeral because here's another thing that you may not know, because I don't know if this is just a church thing or this is just a Midwest thing or whatever. But when somebody has a family member pass away, the accepted thing to do is to bring them food that they can reheat, or send them meals and things for like a week or so they don't have to worry about cooking or anything for like a week. Because a lot of people, when they're dealing with tragedy, one of the first things you forget to do is to feed yourself. And so giving people food, that's what funeral potatoes was. It was one of the meals that you would give so that someone that was grieving wouldn't have to worry about taking care of themselves physiologically while they also have to take care of themselves mentally. I have no idea what the play's about, but I know what funeral potatoes are.
They have funeral potatoes because someone else, but then one of the characters, I believe it's one Curie plays, has a terminal illness.
Oh,
I believe it's a brain tumor, like if I recall correctly.
Kira's a fantastic author. I've loved everything that she's ever written.
Yep.
She also plays in my Zelda RPG, and she's delightful in that. So, and she sings. She and I sang together once. I think it's still on her YouTube channel somewhere. But
She's more than a triple threat. She's just a threat. Because she does
she's
way
just-
more than 3. So it's like she's just a threat.
she's just threatening in general. So yeah. Anyway, I think that about does it. I mean, we can talk about how. The auction for all of Power Rangers is still ongoing for another like 2 weeks. Hasbro is auctioning off all of
Yeah.
the suits, all of the props they still have.
Jody, you could buy some pirate Power Rangers.
No, I can't because the starting bid for everything is $500.
Hypothetically, theoretically,
I
you
could.
Could.
I could buy all the suits, and then I could get all the Super Megaforce actors, and I could go, okay, we're going to do this again. You guys are going to acknowledge that you're freaking pirates. Okay? We're going to shoot this entire scene. You're just going to go, hey, Gosai, why do we look like pirates? And Gosai goes, well, that's a very good question. And I'm going to explain everything. Boop, boop. Oh no, the bad guys are here. I guess I'll explain it later. And that's all you had to do.
Jody's gonna be in a green suit versus a green screen. You're beholding the ship.
Yep. It's like, why is all our stuff pirate themed? And why is there Zord, a giant pirate ship? I do know there were quite a few Power Rangers that were very upset because they weren't able to get their stuff. And what's her name? The girl that played the Pink Ranger in Dino Charge or Dino Fury, and then her character turned into the Red Ranger for Cosmic Fury. Actually decided that she was going to bid on her own suit because she never got to take it home, and she got outbid immediately. Her suit is one of the most expensive things right now. I think it's going for like $6,000. The only I think there's like two items that are more expensive than them. One of them is JDF's original.
Oh yeah, I figured if anything was going to be more expensive, it would be Jason David
Yeah.
Franks.
So his full outfit, including the shield and everything, thing like that, is in like the 7,000s. But I was surprised nothing has got, like, the most expensive item on there is less than $8,000, and I was a little bit surprised about that. But the auction website actually totals up everything in the auction. Thus far, with only about 2 weeks left of the auction to go, they've only got about $500,000 in bids. And with the sheer volume of stuff that they're auctioning off, that is pitiful. Like, you could not create a single episode of Power Rangers.
If this holds to like
$500,000.
most auctions, it's going to be like the final 3 days. I imagine I would anticipate a spike.
We'll see. Like I said,
because normally that's when you get, like, it's closing in, and that's when you start seeing people will start trying to snipe.
I just expected there to be more. Like, there's still items that haven't been bid on.
I mean, there are collectors out there, so.
So I was expecting it to be more, especially stuff like I'm incredibly surprised that the JDF stuff, like the Dragon Dagger, is going for like $2,000 right now. I can get a replica Dragon Dagger for $2,000. Like, this is the actual prop that they used on screen. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see how it ends. But every so often I go back just to see how things are going. And yeah, if Hasbro is thinking they were going to make a mint out of this, they seem to be sorely mistaken. But who knows? Maybe Imp's right, and we'll see this massive influx in the last few days. But it does kind of suck that, because I think there was a couple different Power Rangers that were thinking about, former Rangers that were thinking about trying to buy their suits. But I know the Pink/Red Ranger, I can't remember the actress's name, but she.
Jones?
I think that was the character's name. Hunter Devon, I think is her name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hunter Devon. I think that's her name. She actually went on Twitter and said, "Well, I'm going to try and do this." And because she announced it, a bunch of people tried to outbeat her.
Hunter Dino.
Yeah.
Problem.
Yeah. So
That was
I feel bad. I kind of hope that the people that are trying to outbid her are trying to outbid her so they can buy it and send it to her. Like that to me
Yeah.
would be very, very cool.
Yeah.
If people were to buy the suits or the props or something and then give them to the Rangers, that would be super, super cool. I don't think that's what's happening. I think it's just internet trolls that don't want, a woman to be happy. But
anyone.
it's sad because again, like was it Yoshi Sidarsu told a story as soon as he found out about the auction, where he and Brennan, who he played the blue Dino Charge Ranger and Brennan played the red Dino Charge Ranger, they both ran in to as soon as they finished their last scene, they both ran directly to costuming to see if they could get one of their suits. And as soon as they got there, they don't. When you're filming Power Rangers, you don't have one suit. You have like a dozen suits because things happen. And by the time they got to wardrobe, they had already cut up and destroyed all but one of the suits because they always keep one. After everything's done, they will keep one copy of every single suit in case a cameo happens. Or for reference for any thing else, they always keep at least one. But the rest of them, they tend to destroy to avoid people like dumpster diving and stuff like that. And so, they came and there's all the extra stunt suits were all destroyed before they could get there. So they never got their suits. But then there was another guy, the blue, I want to say... Oh, the blue Dino. Yeah. The blue Dino Charge. Not Dino Charge. Dino Thunder Ranger, which was the season that brought JDF back. He goes, yeah, I remember coming into wardrobe to watch as JDF and Jeff, I think the guy that played the White Ranger, were stealing their costumes on the last day of production. And they were trying to shove as much as they could in their bags so they could walk off set with their suits. I believe JDF actually had a few of his suits unofficially.
I wouldn't be surprised because if you recall, he was doing a fan film at the time, and
he was doing a lot of different things.
That costume looked real. That looked like.
Oh no, the one that he did, the one that he did for the fan film was custom made for him. Like that wasn't something that he ever wore.
There was also another one where he did. It was the Bat in the Sun. Or was ever like when they would like theoretical Power Ranger versus Ryu.
Those were all made by Bat in the Sun. Like Bat in the Sun had an insane costume department, and I believe JDF kept both of those. Bat in the Sun. Back when Bat in the Sun was an actual good production company and not kind of a sleazy company that screwed over a lot of people, including Marisha Ray.
Yeah.
Bat in the Sun used to do some really good, cool stuff, and they worked with JDF and they worked with a bunch of other people. So anyway, yeah. So if you would like an overpriced piece of memorabilia from Power Rangers, you can currently bid on it, and hopefully Hasbro will do something with the IP. At least. Boom Studios is still making comics. Like they ended their original comic book run, and this month, I believe, the first issue of Power Rangers Prime came out, which is focusing on Lauren Shiba, who was the female Red Samurai Ranger that only was on the show for like 2 or 3 episodes. Like she had a really, really short run. But she's going to be the main focus initially for Power Rangers Prime, which should be pretty cool. She's an interesting character. So anyway, I think it's time for us to return to the legend of the 3 kingdoms. The party has found another orb. Using Argenta's unexplained connection to the orbs, the party was able to locate another building where an orb potentially sat. Unfortunately, as they were attempting to find a way into the building, Vala fell into a trap that rendered her unconscious and nearly killed her. After making their way into the building, they discovered that it was populated by a bunch of children who seemed to be using it as a hiding place. After discussing things with the children and finding out that they actually had a connection to the ruling siblings, they also discovered that the orb here was one of 4 bedpost tops. Relwyn decided to use a combination of detect magic, dispel magic to try and figure out which one of the bedpost tops was the actual orb, as opposed to the other 3 possibly trapped ones. The first one they dealt with exploded. The second one, when dispel magic was cast on it, it was discovered the orb was reanimating one of the 2 children. And the third one, they discovered, seemed to be the actual orb. Relwyn decided to take a hold of it instead of allowing Argenta to become even more connected to the orbs than she already was. And after absorbing the power of the orb, Relwyn suddenly understood the struggles that Argenta had been going through. And that is where we return. So...
And the fourth one was divination, and Argenta had the brilliant plan of like, hey, maybe that's an alarm, don't touch that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's still there if somebody wants to touch it.
I mean, it's been like 2 sessions since Vala had a bad idea. She's overdue.
Yeah, but you're due. So just a reminder for me. When we last left, Relwyn picked up the orb, dealt with the kind of ramifications of it, and then was that where we ended, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, now that kind of all the dust is settled and everything, Relwyn, you are now feeling that kind of longing and hunger that you assume Argenta has been feeling for a while, and you're also... Jealous is the wrong word for it. You are envious of Argenta.
Yep.
You are extremely upset that Argenta has 2 orbs.
Yes, and I don't want to give up mine.
Mm-hmm. So, Nathaniel kind of looks at you after everything that happened, and goes, so is it over now?
Yes, we can leave the house now.
Yes, Rowan will momentarily like, yes, it is. He's going to guide Nathaniel over real quick. Nathaniel, and he'll point to the little girl. Was she here when you got here? Because that was connected to her. Because that one sphere was connected to her.
I mean, she played hide and seek at the house. After I had played hide and seek, she was one of the later groups, but why do you ask? I mean, we all broke out together.
Well, that orb, he'll point to that one, that's tied to her. That's the reason why she changed briefly,
I mean, when she fell asleep.
and she looked very different. But when we turned it back on, she woke back up.
Okay, so don't turn off the orb.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Like that, don't touch that one, and don't touch that one. He's going to point to the divination one.
Okay.
That one, and he points to that one. That's the reason why I got burnt very badly. And that was the one that caused the explosion across the room.
Okay.
Just don't touch any of them.
Yeah, you don't touch any of them.
All right.
Do I know, since we do know how some magical items do work, do I think like those things are going to reactivate given over time? Like the fire one will just recharge, or is it one and done?
You haven't actually examined the fire one. The only one that you really kind of understand is the necromancy one, because both you and Vala spent like an hour learning how it works.
Yeah.
So if you want to spend some time with it, it'd probably take you another 10-15 minutes to figure that one out, seeing as you've already figured out one. But unless you do that, you got no idea.
I think Rowan actually would ask Vala if she could suss that out. Just like there are children here.
Yeah.
Granted, this is a dangerous place, but to be forewarned and all that.
So Vala, go ahead and make me an Arcana check
Guidance.
with advantage.
I won't be needing that. Natural
Okay.
20 plus 8. How much does guidance add?
Plus
D4.
D4.
D4? Why not?
Yeah.
See
I
if
mean,
we can
30's
get it
godlike.
into 30s.
So 31.
31. Okay, so looking
You
at
created
it,
the school of magic that did this.
yeah, looking at it, you think this entire contraption requires kind of the power of the orb that you guys just took in order to kind of work. The evocation orb is designed to reset itself after, as far as you can tell, because it's effectively broken now that you've taken the orb out, so you're not 100% certain. Somewhere between every 5 and 15 minutes, the evocation orb is designed to reset itself so it can explode again. Since the orb is no longer there, it can't reset itself.
Does that mean the necromancy orb is done? Well, it was. We turned it back on.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, that particular orb is self-sustaining for this particular effect. However, if you wanted to use this same effect on a different person, you would need the original orb. So because it's already set and working, it doesn't need the input of the orb. But in order for any of these orbs to effectively reset themselves, the one that you guys took has to be a part of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you think that one's fine. The divination orb, since you guys have no idea what it does, is still technically active because it hasn't been triggered as of yet.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to hand me that orb, Relwyn, I could maybe... Oh, that's an interesting look in your face. Never mind.
I already know I can't do that.
It was worth a try.
If you want this orb from me, you're going to have to do something very creative. Or violent. I'm not threatening, I'm stating fact. I think at the very least I could be honest about that.
I know the difference between threats and promises, so... Maybe just to be safe, I'm going to take this orb and put it in my bag of holding. The evocation.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to take it, and as far as you can tell, it's a mundane object. Like, it doesn't feel very magical or anything like that. And even with a 30, you don't know if you could find a way to kind of reactivate the orb without using the contraption that's already built here. Like, whatever created this trap is beyond your level of understanding.
But what about a 31?
With a 31,
Oh, wow.
you can go fuck yourself. As you guys are doing that, you suddenly realize that Nathaniel has kind of stepped away for a moment, and as you guys all look around, you hear a hatch open, and suddenly Nathaniel kind of comes back in, and he has a jar that seems to be sealed.
I was gonna ask.
He goes, I don't know if you guys can use this, but this is what I use to refill the trap.
Nathaniel, I was thinking the very thing to ask you this.
So I don't know how useful it is, but we have enough to reset the trap, and you guys are the only ones that have set it off, so I figure I don't need this much. Anyway,
We're gonna leave to keep you safe.
yeah, you guys should go.
Yes.
Yes.
Agreed.
If you guys win, what are you gonna do?
Leave the town peacefully?
Okay, yeah, I guess that's a smart thing to do.
What we're going to do is what we've been doing this whole time, trying to help people.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it's probably, I mean, it's probably the best thing you can do is just leave. Like this place is just screwed. No, I thought maybe you guys could do something so that we didn't have to stay inside all the time. But
We can do that.
We've seen other people go up against them, and it ends really badly. Always, every single time.
Well, they haven't faced us before.
Well,
If we win, we will deal with them.
If we win, I think you're gonna know it.
and you see him, just for the briefest moment, you can see this little kind of light in his eyes, and you see this tiny little smile that he very quickly kind of pushes back down. Okay, well, be careful. They don't cheat, but
You don't have to cheat when you're the one making up the rules.
yeah, this game is. The games are always set in their favor. Understand, if you play by the rules, it's designed to make you lose. All right, guys. Let's go over here so that we're really far away from where they leave. Okay. All right, and he starts kind of gathering all the kids up. And they go into the room.
Nathaniel,
Yeah.
Nathaniel, you've done a very good job.
Thanks.
And if this all does, we settle things. At the very least, you'll be able to take a rest.
It'd be nice. All right, come on, everybody, and they go into the room and they close the door, and you hear.
If things get loud, do your best to keep them entertained and distracted.
You see as the door closes, you can hear the sound of like cloth brushing against the floors. It looks like he's basically kind of shoving a blanket under the doorway to kind of cut sound transmission.
I think
So,
as they leave, I think Rowan will definitely to the kids. He's like,
Yeah, and I was gonna say him.
okay. So, uh, how do you guys want to get out of here?
well, I'm presuming we're leaving through the hatch. And is the hatch just leading to the top floor? Or is it leading to outside?
You heard the sound of a hatch. You didn't actually see a hatch. So if you guys want to try and find the hatch that he used, you can. But wherever it is, it's hidden really, really well. Otherwise, you can just use the front door, which is the way that you came in previously.
Yeah. Argenta will say, though, there is one thing, though, and she kind of scowls when she says this. If we let Lillian and Vala grab an orb, she seems a little disgusted saying it, but then she continues, we need 5, right?
Yes.
We don't have 5 people.
I would also point out we don't really. I'm not saying your theory's bad. I'm just saying we don't have proof that that's.
I think it's mostly because they know what effects the orbs have, and if we're only supposed to grab one, that makes it difficult. We need a 5th. We need a 5th.
Again, that's if the current theory is, as you say.
That how if we keep playing by the rule. I mean, why the thing told us if we keep playing by the rules, then it's not for us to lose.
I
So
mean,
if we want to win, we're gonna have to do something outside of the little sandbox.
what would be a way to cheat? Grab Commander's sister and use her as a fire shield?
I mean, that is awesome. I mean, I know earlier we were talking about maybe going to their house.
I was considering that. I know I've been the biggest opponent for that. I do have to think before the game started, we were in the other house on the west side. However, I have to believe they have some methodology for keeping players inside the town. So I do wonder if maybe they have a rule about going outside of bounds.
Rather than steal, kidnap the girl, what if we pulled some robbery and stole their wagon?
Again, if the problem is whatever it is, she has control over what houses explode.
Does she, or does she just blow them up?
Well, again, she focuses about releasing whatever it is. So it does take an act from her to pick a house and then make it detonate. So she does do it. Whether it's her simply releasing the spell or sending something that casts to it, she deactivated whatever it was, and that caused the explosion.
Would that be wise of her to do now? Because if we steal the wagon, it's obvious that I forget his name offhand, but Commander's brother,
Vincent.
Vincent, advised her not to do so. I think the wagon keeps him safe.
Yes, but we have seen her. She is a spoiled child. I think we can all agree on that. her favorite phrase is "It's not fair," and this is a child who treats people like dolls to break.
Yes, but
And
even a spoiled child will have a sense of self-preservation. If she's away from the wagon, she can't activate magic without the eyes looking at her. She can't create the sound of an explosion without the eyes looking at her. She'd
you're
be
you're, you're
without both
trust
options.
just as a counterpoint, you're trusting someone to be rational who has more of a passion for being a pyromaniac than Vala.
Okay, she blows up a house and then gets pelted by 5 fireballs in return.
I'm saying she may demand she gets it back, or else she'll just start detonating. It.
And she gets pelted by 5 fireballs the
That
first
she
time
did.
she does
Yeah.
it.
She didn't cast a spell when she did that, though. Is what I'm saying.
Right. If she's just
So we make it so sincere.
and how do
I
we do
do.
that?
Well, I have one idea, which
Well,
is
I
Nathaniel.
mean,
Rowan holds up the jar.
That could work.
If we time it with whatever happens, and we throw it into we throw it into the
Wagon.
coat into the coach, the wagon, and she hops in there, or whoever's about to hop in there.
Well,
That could work. Someone would have to deal with Vincent, but that could work.
I think when she goes into the wagon and she comes out
She's
se-
refreshed.
seemingly refreshed. I mean, I'll just say it. I'm wondering if time passes differently in there.
You needed to be resuscitated after you became under the effects of that gas.
Because I inhaled a little too deeply.
To be
If
fair, if time passes differently in there, and she's in there with the gas, by the time we get up there to grab her, she'd be a corpse.
And if she does, hopefully by the time she does come out, we might be able to handle her if we handle Vincent.
I think it mostly, I don't think time passes differently. I think it has a restorative effect, if that makes any sense.
possible.
Of course, the other option is we whoever's most capable takes her into the coach and fights her in the space. I don't know how well that would go. I would say that's a plan C. Not gonna
yeah.
be.
If you can last a minute with her, you both get a long rest and restart the fight.
No, I'm saying fighting in there. I don't know the result would be. Having a fight in a time dilated place. I hate magic.
Well, if most of her, a lot of her spells seem to be fire based. Um, they're big spells, not good for close quarters.
We could, we could probably decide what we're doing pretty soon.
So, do we keep looking for more orbs and take chances?
I mean,
Um,
it's sort of a thing again, if we play by the rules. If my theory holds water, we're going to be one person short, and I think that's by design given everything.
Yeah.
If we do this, we could make them surrender, possibly.
I'm thinking the reason there's one more orb than there are people is so that one of us has to have more orbs than the others. That one person becomes the winner, and the rest of us
Yeah.
are the losers.
That
I
could be
believe
the
one more
case,
orb
but
could give us an opportunity, could give us an edge. I think if we get one more orb, we can most definitely somehow take it to them.
Are we really pondering the orb?
I so I know there are spells like haste where you can cast them on somebody. They feel really good. They're very fast while the spell lasts, and as soon as the spell is over, they get like a shock to the system, and they're out for, let's say, 6 seconds. Um, I'm wondering if these orbs are something similar, where they're making you feel great. They're causing agitation within the group, or could potentially cause agitation within the group. But then they can just cut the feed anytime they want and effectively stun you two.
I mean, possibly. However,
Oh,
we do have this gas, which is an opportunity. That's how I'm viewing it.
Relwyn would definitely go like, well, if that's the case, getting another orb would be beneficial. As long as that's what they are expecting. And Relwyn says, like, someone else should take the jar.
Argento will take the jar.
Someone who I think maybe should be someone who hasn't been utilizing an orb.
well. Oh.
And Rowan's looking at Argento like, I don't want to give you an edge.
Then why do you want someone else to grab an orb?
I'm not saying someone else should grab an orb. I'm thinking we get one more orb.
Listen,
Did I say what really believe that he said that because he wanted another orb?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me an insight check. Relwyn, don't tell me which, but
I'm
you
gonna
can choose
whisper you.
either. Okay.
I rolled a 20 total.
20 total for it? Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. So that's you nat 20'd it?
Yep.
Okay. So just 1 second. I think that I have to clarify something then.
Same wavelength, dude. So, Lillian, as you're sitting there trying to kind of discern the intent behind what Relwyn is saying, you're having a really hard time figuring out exactly what it like. You haven't known Relwyn for that long. It's only been like a month or two here, and thus far you've never really had any reason to doubt him. So you've never tried to figure out what his tells are. So as you're sitting there trying to figure out, it's very possible that there could be an ulterior motive for it, but it's just as possible that he could be telling you the truth. You really have no idea. From what he has actually said, like, there's logic behind what he's saying. Let's put it that way. Whether that logic is flavored by compulsion, you've got no idea. It's always fun when a nat 20 isn't enough.
I will say that you could tell, because it's not tied to this, that Rowan definitely didn't want to give Argento the gas.
Yeah, that was blatantly obvious. That requires no roll.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys want to do?
I don't see what was going to be this time.
So Lillian kind of holds your hand out for the. You basically guys have like a gallon bottle of gas that it seems like it is somewhat pressurized. So you don't know exactly how much is in there, but it's more than just whatever the actual volume is of. So I mean, technically, gallon is a measurement of volume, but it's not exactly a measurement of volume. So, and air can be pressurized, so you can put more than a quote unquote gallon of air into a gallon container, because that's how pressure works. Anyway, so Rowan, do you give Lillian the gas?
You want
Yes.
me to take it?
Well, whoever will take it. So yeah, he'll just hand it off.
Alright.
So yeah, he doesn't seem conflicted at all when he gives it to you, Lillian.
I don't personally. Grabbing a second orb felt alright until it blew up in my face. Now, I understand the feeling you're having, Rowan, and I am currently pushing mine down. I don't think we need another orb if we plan to break the rules anyway.
You could also use another orb as a bait.
Oh, so where's the way?
They don't seem to be going to the orbs. They just seem to be patrolling.
Yeah.
Didn't they be patrolling where the orbs might be? I mean,
They-
why would you wouldn't
They
go
kind of
necessarily?
went in the opposite direction that we were heading when I sensed the orbs before. And
Well,
that's
if
why
anyone
we
knows
cross each other.
I know, but if anyone knows what the orbs are, they could have simply decided to go from one orb to the next. They clearly, I mean, obviously, it was very obvious there was a melted crater where the previous orb was, but
Did they go to the source
the opposite direction was also, I would point out, that's where the blue orb was.
If we want to set a trap, I don't know that we necessarily need another orb as much as our presence.
Yeah.
If one of us were to make, let's say, a lot of noise, garner a lot of attention, that could draw them out. We could draw them into the trap.
orbs. It would also draw the attention of the.
Yeah, I understand. I mean,
But if one of us makes a lot of noise in a protected area, while the others are not in that area, the orbs will be drawn to the distraction. Perhaps the twins would be drawn to the distraction, and we could set up an ambush. I'm just not sure if there's a way to disable the orbs in the sky.
I mean, if we had Commander here, we could use a lot more black powder and maybe set a trap for the
Yeah.
wagon.
But he's not here, so
Yeah, the issue was we could very easily set a trap for them if it wasn't for the fact that we had those to have to deal with those from above. Anything we do that causes sound or movement, we will have basically giant, violent, large casting bees set upon us.
Do we? We don't know if those, if the patrolling orbs, if they have a cooldown.
I mean, other than the hard, no, we don't.
How can we break the rules?
Real quick. Arjita, I sent you a whisper in Roll 20. Just wanted to make sure you got it.
Okay, I see it.
Okay, cool. Continue.
I mean, what are the rules?
We need to find 1
Before we
before
get,
we forward.
yeah, we need 5 before we get 5 bad ones.
Well, they actually said we have to find five. We have to find 5 good ones.
Yeah.
It was ever stated before finding 5 bad. We just have to find the 5 good ones. It's just that there's 5 bad mixed in.
Yeah.
And survive to do so.
Yes. Essentially, it's damaging us and depleting us of our resources.
So the rules are finding these 5 orbs. If we just don't find the orbs, that's one way to break the rules.
Yeah.
Well, I believe they also stated, I think that's essentially the same as not playing the game.
Well, yeah.
And if we don't play the game, they will start detonating houses.
Right.
I mean, if we take it out, well, I think we need to go after them to prevent that.
As you guys are having this discussion, you all suddenly become aware that you are still in Nathaniel's house, and they've locked themselves in their room to wait for you guys to leave.
Yeah, let's get going.
Yeah, so once we get out there, what are we doing?
That's the question.
It's the question. It's the question.
Did we get those ones? Does that all that you feel?
Let's have let's leave the house and have this discussion in an alleyway.
Yeah.
Argento will open the crack open the front door and just glance around, make sure she's not hearing a wagon.
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Perception check. +8. 19.
19. Yeah, you don't see anything that would indicate a wagon being anywhere nearby. And you don't hear like the sound of hoofs or wooden wheels on cobblestone.
Alright, she'll wave for you guys that it's okay and start slipping out quietly.
Okay. So, because you guys have been doing this a fair amount at this point, it's not particularly difficult for you guys to kind of get into the rhythm of moving between houses. You just need to tell me where you're going. Because you guys still Argenta was able to locate one other orb that you guys are aware of a more kind of specific location. And
Yeah,
then,
that's from down here, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
And then obviously there's more orbs south of you that you're aware that there's somewhere out there. So, where are you guys going?
Well, let's try and like slip between these two houses so that if we are rained by fireballs, we're not gonna kill Nathaniel and crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moving over basically to another house, not particularly difficult. You guys time it with the eyes in the sky. And yeah, you think you're far enough away that as long as you keep your voices low, there's little to no chance that any sound that you make will echo far enough for it to affect Nathaniel's house.
Roughly speaking, how much of a gap is there in the pattern of the eyes?
Not sure. What do you want to do with the gap?
I'm considering something like, would I have time to cast Liedman's Tiny Hut?
You think without cover, as far as you can tell, anytime you've cast any sort of a spell outside of a house, it has immediately attracted eyes that weren't looking at you. So they seem to be able, any type of magic being cast outside of a house, they seem to be able to focus on.
Or outside
Okay.
of the wagon.
Yeah, that too.
Hmm.
So this is what are we doing now? Now that we've let them all relax.
I had a rather mundane idea. We need to get to another house. So whether it's a house, I think they're actually they have some type of search route, obviously, because wherever these orbs may be, I think they are searching, and they have some kind of a search pattern. So I'm sure they would be checking in at least with a roundabout location of where the other orbs are. Now we seem to know a general direction. So if we are going to set some type of trap, we should at least try to consider going to a house.
As you say that, you start hearing off in the distance.
Oh, now they're approaching.
What do you want to do? You think you probably have maybe 5 to 10 minutes before they arrive.
We could set the ambush now.
Again, what are we going to do that's not going to have all these helpers on us too?
I mean, you could throw the gas into the wagon. That was the plan, right?
Again, with the fight kicks off, anything we do, their orbs will be on us.
Well, what if we
We need to take the fight to the wagon.
Yeah.
take the fight to them, so that way, if we do get hit by the orbs, then they will also get hit by the orbs,
Or the wagon stops the orbs.
or the wagon stops the orbs. They have some mechanism that protects them from getting hit or
Most of
triggering
you
them.
have a way to get up there quickly. Others, like me, don't.
I can dimension door, take you with me.
You cast that spell, the orbs will be on us.
It's getting
Well, John,
noticeably louder. You guys can
we
actually
need to-
see them coming from the east here.
We need to get in position now.
don't think we can do this without another
Why are you so obsessed with us getting another orb?
It's because he touched the fucking orb. Stop
Yeah.
listening to him. And she's going to stealth.
Because you're such a great authority.
Go and roll me a stealth check.
Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins, do not take me for some sort of cheap conjurer.
Stealth check, you said, right?
Yepers.
I rolled a
Something in the like upper 50s, I'm assuming.
No, 15. I'm
15,
just a
okay.
regular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, not rogue, sorry. I keep remembering your athletics checks. Yeah, you watch as Argenta kind of presses herself into one of the houses and does her best to stay hidden. It's not her finest attempt at hiding ever, but you think she's not visible from the road anymore. As that happens, the carriage goes past all of you, and I just need really quickly to know what are all of your passive stealth.
How would we determine that?
10 plus your stealth.
Oh,
Anytime I ask for a passive score, just add 10 to whatever your modifier is.
My passive stealth is 26.
Put it in chat.
There's the nonsense.
In case you ask any in your reference.
Okay.
Passive stealth is 11.
All right. Liliane?
17.
Okay. So, as you all are trying to figure out what's going on and Argenta's doing her best to try and hide, suddenly the wagon stops right in front of where you guys are. Nothing happens for a brief moment. And then suddenly you hear arcane words being spoken, and I need everybody to make me a dex save. Start with Vala.
19.
Fail, unfortunately. Argenta?
15.
15, fail.
Should have her dagger out, though, at this point.
Liliane?
26.
Definitely a save. Rowan? I didn't hear that cut off.
14.
14. So everybody...
Stop having me roll dex saves.
Unfortunately, that's how fireballs work. So Liliane, you take half damage. Everyone else takes 36 points of fire damage. As your... Besides, it's all fire damage, so you take half damage anyway, you bastard.
Half for me, too.
And I would like to make a dex save, but it wasn't that.
So, as you guys are all sitting there, suddenly
It's
you
18.
see this streak of red light come, stop in between all of you, and then this massive fireball happens, knocking a few of you back, scorching the two houses you're between. You suddenly hear, "Vinny, I hit them! Yay, we found them, we found them, we found them, we found them!"
Liliane, do it now.
Why doesn't everybody roll initiative for me real quick?
Yeah, they kind of found it. Well, I'm guessing she guesstimated us, but horseshoes, hand grenades, and fireball.
She actually, without her modifier, she beat almost all of you guys.
9 and take the 9. It's 10.
So I should probably actually put names down here.
Argenta's just glaring at Rowan in his inaction.
All right, Vala, what you got for me?
It's a 27.
Oh, good, low number. Rowan.
10.
Okay. Lillian.
15.
Cool. Argenta.
16.
Cool. And I just realized I need to actually have their stat blocks so I know what their stats are. Hold, please. Is it? Yeah, I think this is alphabetical. Did I not name it? Oh, called it Commander's Siblings. Okay, so let's start off. I should probably get my good dice here. Alright, so. Sorry, I wasn't quite expecting that this week, so. I'm glad I actually prepped a fight for this. That's more like it. That's more like it. Oops, I accidentally unmuted my stream. Alright. So, first up is going to be Vala. From between the two buildings, you can see Elizabeth is on top of the carriage, and she's kind of holding the wand in her hand. Not so much like, in general, different people have different ways that they kind of hold their wand for the things. And one of the kind of indications of someone that's not particularly adept at spellcasting is they will kind of have it in like a sword grip or something similar to that doesn't give them a lot of ability for fine control, and she's gripping it like it's a bastard sword. So she's just swinging it around, and you can see in the front of the cart, sitting in the driver's seat, Vincent is just sitting there, hands folded, legs crossed, just seeming over everything. So what you want to do, Vaughn?
Oh, there's so much I want to do. How far away are they from me, and how far away am I from the rest of the group?
You guys are all within about 20 feet of each other because you were all between these two buildings.
Okay.
And at the closest point where the buildings are, because you can see both the buildings kind of lean into each other. At the closest point, they're about 10 feet apart. And at their widest, they're about somewhere between 15 and to 20 feet. So you're all in that kind of little area. And they are both on the road about 20, let's say 30, 35 feet away.
Okay, cool. I am going to use my 30 feet of movement to put space between the group and myself.
Okay.
And try to get within, I'd say at least 15 feet to them.
Okay.
So if a fireball were to hit me, I would like it to also hit them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And not my party.
Makes sense. Okay.
While I'm moving, I'm going to use my bonus action, using my Flute of the Piercing Flame, to play a Borello of Rebirthed Embers. This is going to let me add 2 Bardic Inspiration die to the damage of my next spell.
Okay.
And I'm going to make it radiant. And I'm going to tell her, this is how you cast Fireball, bitch. I will cast Fireball at 6th level.
Okay.
Ooh. Actually, I will cast it at 5th level because that's the highest I have. I will not say I'm going to cast Fireball, bitch until after I cast it.
Okay. Cool. What's the DC again?
Dexterity 19.
Okay. Well, luckily she has advantage because my second roll was a 1. The first one, she got a 20, not natural. So
Whoa.
as you fire the... I'm just checking her spell list real quick here.
And
Yeah. Go ahead.
I would try to aim this to also hit Vinny and her.
Oh, so Vinny needs one too. Okay. Vinny fails, but he decides to make his save anyways. So, what's the total damage? They both technically make their saves. One of them had to use a legendary resistance to do it.
I rolled a 3 and a 1 on my Bardic Inspiration dice. So, with the fireball damage plus the Bordello plus my +5 from my Warlock patron, that is a total of 52 damage.
Okay.
And it's radiant.
Okay. Let me just put in hit points here real quick.
The 26 is halved.
Pardon?
26 is at halved.
Yeah, since they both succeeded.
Yeah. So, you watch as Vincent takes the blow. You can see it kind of singes him a little bit. He obviously is able to hide some of himself, like he pulls his cloak up and protects himself a little bit. But it seems like it takes the half damage, like you think that he should. She said 26, right?
Yep.
Elizabeth, however, as the fireball hits her, you see her kind of move a little bit, so she avoids the blunt of it. But then when the fire hits her specifically, you watch as some of it is just absorbed into her skin. And she seems to take very little damage from it at all.
From the radiant?
From the radiant, yes.
Okay.
It's she just has resistance to damage
Shit.
from spells.
All right,
So-
that will end my turn.
Oh wait, no. I have to do math and it's hard. All right, so at the end of that turn, it's Vincent's turn. And to remember how this spell works real quick here. Yeah. So Vincent, kind of brushing himself off, goes, "It's the way you want to do it. Fine." So he gets up. He steps out of he's I'm gonna try this one more time. Steps out, gets next to the carriage, and he just kind of raps on it, Fonzie style. And you watch as panels on the sides drop. And hidden beneath these panels is a row of swords. They all look slightly different. Some of them rapiers, some of them more long swords, but they're all very immaculate. Some of them have jewel encrusted hilts and things like that. and you watch as he takes his own sword out of the scabbard and he just kind of shakes it a little bit, and you watch as 10 of the swords are drawn from their own scabbards and kind of shake and follow the motion of his sword. And then he points them at you, and all 10 rush towards you. And I need to know how it works. So let's see. Okay, so that's what it is. So I have a bunch of rolls that I have to make for right now. So I'm gonna have to do this 10 times. I'm just gonna read off a bunch of numbers for you,
Okay.
and you tell me if they hit or miss. First one, 8.
That's a miss.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
Quantum AC.
Negate.
Okay, still hits, no longer a crit. If someone can someone just keep track of how many hits and any crits that I get, because I won't remember
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah, I can
second
do
one.
that.
Thank you. Third is 14.
That's a miss.
Okay. Another nat 20. This will be fifth. Is 17.
That is my AC, so I
Okay.
believe that hits.
25.
That hits.
That was 6, right? Yeah.
I believe so.
So this is 7.
It's
Is
miss.
no, this is the 7th roll. 9 and 6. It's 15.
That's a miss.
This is the 8th one, which is the same. Another miss. 9th one is a 17,
That hits.
and the final one is a 10.
That's a miss.
4 hits, 1 crit.
4 hits, 1 crit. So, I'm just going to do average damage. So for each of the hits, it's 7 piercing or slashing damage, whichever you like better. And then for the hit, or for the crit, it is 12. So,
40.
thank you. Took a grand total of 40 damage as these 10 swords just came and attempted to impale you, and are now have completely encircled you. And he just
Okay.
leans against the carriage. That is his turn. Lillian and Argenta, you guys tied. Who wants to go
I
first?
rolled 16, and I think Lillian rolled 15, right?
I thought you both
No,
rolled
I
16.
will. You go.
Yeah. So who wants to go first?
Do you mind if I go first?
No.
Okay.
Okay. I just look at Relvin, and I'm just like, as much as we hate each other, keep them alive. And she'll run forward. And the moment she gets within 30 feet of Vincent, she points at him and is going to shadow transition Vincent.
Ooh, okay. All right. There's a save involved, right?
Nope.
There's no save. I'm glad that I created this item and I can't remember anything about it. Cool. So you both go to this shadow plane, and Vincent kind of looks around and he kind of smirks. And as you're sitting there, you suddenly feel kind of strange. And you realize that while your intention was just to bring Vincent with you, you can see these little twinkles around you, and there are 10 swords that have transitioned with you.
That was her intent. But
Okay.
she stalks at the other edge of the 30 feet. As she doesn't draw her dagger, she draws fury.
Okay.
And she says, "That's not your sword." And will fire twice at him.
Okay. Go ahead and make attack rolls for me.
Referring back to the sword she gave him at the beginning.
Okay.
That's going to be a 26 to hit him.
Definitely hits.
And the second's a 22.
22. Okay. Both of those hits. Both of those hit. Go and roll damage.
We have 10 and 11.
So total of 21?
Yep.
Cool. So as you sit there and fire two shots, the first one hits his armor, and you can see the impact throws his shoulder back. You see him grunt, like he definitely took the damage, but the armor itself is not damaged in any way, shape, or form. The second one gets underneath a piece of the armor that he's wearing, which you didn't notice the armor underneath his kind of very nice clothing, but now you're definitely seeing it as you're blowing away pieces of the clothing. The second one is able to get in underneath it and hits him, and he kind of looks at it, and he kind of tests both spots, and he sees some blood. He takes a handkerchief out, kind of wipes his fingers off, puts it back in, crosses his arm again. Really? This is what you're doing? Fine. Oh, and I need concentration checks. That's fine. Yeah, they're both fine. Cool. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
That's action, bonus action, so no, I'm good.
Cool. Lillian, Argenta's not there anymore, but neither is Vincent.
Grab the jar.
So the players will be to throw the gas. Was it at the Hughes or at I don't remember.
That's up to you guys.
I don't remember what we settled on.
Well, we had one. Well, initially, when we were trying to come up with a plan, we were considering throwing it into the coach. But she's outside right now because we weren't able to sneak up on her. So it's really, if you want to throw it in, try to throw it in there, or just lay it at her, land it at her feet. It's mundane, so she can't. Maybe it's a fighting chance at just knocking her out.
How far away from who am I?
About 35, 40 feet.
Alright,
So you can move up and yeah.
yeah, I'll move about like 10 feet, so I'm like 20 feet away, and I'll just roll the bottle at other than 10 feet.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a strength-based attack roll with disadvantage.
Alright. So that would be an 11.
11. So as you sit there and you hurl this kind of unwieldy jar in her general direction, it's going roughly towards her, but it doesn't quite have the distance, and it lands on the ground around like 10 feet short of her and shatters. And she just kind of looks down, looks at you, looks back down. Why did you do that? There's glass everywhere. Now I have to find someone to clean it. And you took Vincent away.
Hopefully the expansion and all of her talking will have her ruin it.
Possibly. The dangers of carbon monoxide in a wide open environment are significantly less than in a small enclosed place. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
You may both
Okay. So after throwing it, you kind of draw your sword, and as you do, you kind of nick your hand. The blood starts to cover your blade. And which right are you invoking?
The radiant.
Okay, and the blade begins to glow this bright white light. Rowan, you're up because Elizabeth rolled a 3.
Okay. So she's there. She's quite obviously got advantage on magic. However, I also need them. I'm going to move 30 feet up. I'm going to keep it in range, but also I'm going to try and follow Vala's idea and try and get closer to her. So obviously I'll just take my 30 feet. So I'll obviously be within range of her. And
so we'll say, in order for where you are to get within that close, you are going to have to stand in the area where the glass just shattered.
Okay, I'll be outside of the glass then.
Okay.
So I'll still be... I would imagine I'm still within...
Yeah, right. When
Range.
you start, you're about 40-ish feet away. And
Yeah, as
so
long
if
as
you go up and kind of circle, you can stay within 30 feet without going within the glass area.
Yeah, I would like to avoid
too
the
much
glass
closer
area.
than that, you wouldn't be able to get close.
Yes.
Okay.
I like to avoid the glass area, get close to her as I can.
Okay. So yeah, you can get about within 30, 25 feet without dealing with the glass.
So right now, while her brother is gone, she doesn't know what that jar is, so if I can keep her talking. So right now, I think we just need to tease her a little bit. And I'm going to simply, I'm going to tee her up with attempting a guiding bolt. And I'm just going to use a first level.
Okay. What's the DC?
Well, guiding bolt is going to be me attacking.
Oh, yeah,
her.
that's an attack roll. Never mind.
You know, I'm obviously going to cast at her, and I don't know if she's. I know she can. I know she can counterspell. We've already established that, so already messing around with that. 14 plus 12, 26.
26. Misses, of course it hits.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage.
I'll do the dice there. 14 radiant.
Okay.
So I'm sure she absorbs it, but she will also, the next attack on her will have advantage.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I think it'll just simply be... I wonder if you know how to do anything else other than cause damage.
All right.
I wonder how smart of a spellcaster you actually are. He's simply trying. Like, you're seeing Rowan trying to trash Shalak.
Okay. So Ralwyn is going, you don't cast spells good. Why don't you make me choose a charisma-based skill that you like and make me a charisma-based skill check.
Well, I'll go with persuasion because I want this bitch to start talking. I want her to use up oxygen.
Sure.
Hope I can actually see my damn die. Ooh. Okay, so 17.
All right, so she sits there and goes, you want to know how good a spellcaster I am? I am an amazing spellcaster. I can do so many amazing things with my
Is that what Mommy and Daddy told you?
I'm smarter than you. You want to know how I know I'm smarter than you? She points at you and suddenly all the lights go out. For a moment, you're not sure where you are.
She just cast darkness on me. I know the darkness fell.
No, she didn't.
Or she
a-
blind me.
As you're kind of looking around, you suddenly realize there's a wall in front of you, and your eyes start to adjust to the darkness. You're in a room, and there are 4 hallways leading off from the room, one in each direction.
Oh, do I not even get a save?
There's no save for this spell.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Did we just see Rowan disappear? Or
Yeah. Relwyn just choop, and he's gone.
A spell with... God damn it.
Yeah, this spell. This spell's fun.
So you look around. You're in a room. There are exits to the north, south, east, and west. They all look identical. You'll deal with that in a little bit here.
I think I have a... I have a ridiculous way out of this. God damn it.
Ugh.
And trying to see if there's anything else. I think that's all she's going to do. But for the rest of you, you watch as she points, and you watch as Relwyn just blinks out of existence. She goes, "See? Look how much smarter I am than you. You're never coming back. You're never coming back. You'll never find your way out because you're too stupid."
You're absolutely right. You're so smart. You're talking to thin air.
She seems less than thrilled about that, but it's not her turn anymore because she's done her stuff. So Vala, you want
Oh,
God. I thought I knew what I wanted to do. I don't
Get
know. what I
up
wanted
close and fuck her up.
So here's the thing about
yeah.
that. I have a venom dagger. Takes an action to release the venom, which means I wouldn't be able to do anything this turn. I could just stab her with it and not do the poison damage. Do I have to?
Just avoid the glass circle.
Two-weapon fighting, that doesn't use a bonus action, correct?
Two-weapon fighting does use a bonus action when you take. We're not using the new version of two-weapon fighting.
Okay.
So it's when you take the attack action, you can use a bonus action to make it make it attack with your offhand weapon, but it does require you to take the attack action.
Okay. I guess then my other question, Eldritch Blast. I know at 17th level I get, I think, 4 beams. That's my Warlock level, correct? Not.
It's
Cantrips
character
are cantrips
Character
are
level.
based on character level.
Okay. In that
It's
case,
slightly broken, but that's how it works.
in that case, I will do my best forward and say Eldritch Blast.
Okay, and she flicks her wand, and Eldritch Blast stops.
Can I counterspell her counterspell or no?
You have your action now.
I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I guess you could. Yep, you can. So go ahead and make your 4 attack rolls, and she's pissed, by the way.
Excellent. We're gonna use Pack Slap for that. All right.
I have to keep track of spell slots.
22 to hit.
That hits.
That's 7 points of damage.
Okay, so that's 3.
25 to hit.
That hits.
That's 1 point of damage.
So it does no damage.
Oh,
Because it absorbs, because she's the other thing is absorbs it. Bullshit.
natural 20, 31 to hit.
Hold on a second.
12.
Oh, you split them up. Okay. Never mind. Keep going. What was the damage on that one?
12.
So 6.
And then I believe this is my 4th.
Yep.
25 to hit.
Definitely hits. Roll damage.
I was a little concerned because that said 0, but that's a 10.
Okay. How do you roll a 0? There's not a 0. So it's 5 points of damage.
Yeah. I'm just getting like more pissed off as I'm
Yeah.
casting these.
All right, and that means she needs to make 2 concentration check. Or no, that is a concentration spell, right? I have to check something real quick.
If it's a spell thing, it is. It is.
Yeah, that's concentration.
Yep.
Yeah, she's perfectly fine. Yeah, totally fine. All right. So
now technically, is it 2 or because I hit her?
you technically hit her
4
3 times, but one of them did no damage. So no damage means no con check or no
Yeah.
concentration check.
Because she absorbed it. It's not. She didn't
Yeah, you have to.
have resistance.
Damage is what causes the concentration check to
Yeah.
happen, and because she took 0 damage.
I hit her 4 times. One of them it got absorbed. I rolled a 22, a 25, a 31.
You're right.
and a
I forgot
25.
one. I forgot
okay.
one. For some odd reason, I
I
thought
thought-
you missed one of them.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Wonder why.
Because
I mean,
one of them
she
did no
has
damage.
a good armor
Oh.
class. She still makes it though.
Damn it! I was hoping.
Yeah. No, you just rolled ungodly high for your roll. Rolling nothing under a 20 is cheating. She's very upset with you.
Yeah, I'm all set. I was gonna see if I could cast Hex on her and hex her Constitution, but that wouldn't help against saving throws. So
Yeah, technically, hexing the Constitution has literally no effect on anything because there are no Constitution-based skills, and because it doesn't do anything to saving throws, there's
Right.
literally no point in hexing Constitution. Cool. We return to the realm of darkness. Vincent is going to uncross his arms, draw his sword, and he is going to start swinging at you very, very fast. So, first thing he does is going to be a nat 20, unfortunately for you. Second attack is going to be 30 versus your armor class, Argenta.
Yep.
And then the final attack is going to be 19 versus your armor class.
That is my AC, so yep.
Okay, so I have to figure out how it is. So first things first, I need... This is mostly pointless, but it's part of the ability. I need a strength save.
A strength save?
Yeah.
27.
27, yeah. So as he comes forward, like he draws the blade, and very much like Wrath from Full Metal Alchemist, he kind of just draws it, and then boom, he runs forward so fast you can barely see him. And before you even realize what's happening, the blade is buried. The blade of his rapier is buried all the way up to the hilt in your gut. And he hits you with his shoulder at the same time. Because that first hit was a crit, you are going to take a grand total of... I'm going to say a lot of numbers here. I have to add everything together. 35 plus 14 is
49.
49, thank you. Plus another 22. So that turns into
71.
71, yeah. So the first attack does 71 damage as he smashes into you, and you can feel the weight of the hit as he tries to knock you backwards, and you just dig your feet in, and you guys are eye to eye as he's sitting there with his blade shoved into your stomach. And you don't blink, and he kind of smiles. He pulls his blade out again, slashes it across you, this time only doing... only doing 28 damage, with 7 of that damage being force damage.
Right.
And then finally, as he slashes away, he kind of turns and he comes around with a spinning heel kick. And on the back of one of his heels, there's a little blade that goes and cuts across your neck and does another 8 slashing damage.
All right.
And then after that, he has all 10 of his swords start attacking you as well. So again, I'm just going to read off attacks here, and you keep track of how many hits and misses, okay?
All right.
So first one, 9.
Nope.
Second one, 8.
Nope.
Third one, 8.
Nope.
Fourth one, 22.
Yes.
Fifth one, 14.
No.
Sixth one, 9.
No.
Seventh one, 15.
No.
Eighth one, 9. I have rolled 3
Nope.
3s. And that was the 8th one, right? So this is 9.
Yep.
It's an 8. And for the final one, 16.
Nope. So 1 hit.
1 hit. So you take 7 points of damage as all 10 of these swords start flying toward you. He just looks at you and he turns to the swords and goes, "Kill him." And the swords all and at the end, all but one of the swords is still perfectly clean, and one of them just kind of nicked your shoulder. And again looks at you and goes, "Impressive."
I have also studied.
I think that is the end of his turn, because I've run out of cool shit for him to do. Cool. So that ends his turn. Argenta, you can do something now.
So Argenta's going to rage.
Okay.
Staying in melee with him. Let's see here. So she's going to reload the gun with 2 shocker rounds
Okay.
and just point blank fires one into him.
Okay. Do you have a
I have
skill?
the gunner feat.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
22.
22 does hit.
He needs to give me a strength save.
Okay. Strength save of 17.
That is a success.
Okay.
But he does take 11 damage.
All right. And is that piercing damage or
Piercing.
Piercing. Okay. You said 11, right?
Yep.
Okay. And go ahead and make your second shot.
Okay. 23 to hit.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll
Another
with
strength
advantage.
save.
Yep. Even in high, or no, the exact no. This one is higher. 22.
Okay, yeah. 10 damage.
10 damage. Cool.
That'll be my turn.
All right. At the end of your turn, he very quickly just goes and slices at your stomach, and that's 22 to hit.
Yep.
So 21 slashing damage, 7 force damage.
All right.
It's going to be a war of attrition that I'm not sure he can win yet. Because you have a lot of freaking hit points.
And you're having your damage on some of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's so many barbarians now. I don't know what gets happening anymore.
I know.
All right, sorry. That brings us to Lillian. You're in the real world.
I could move it way I could.
Okay, in order to do that, since she's on top of the carriage, you are going to have to try and climb onto the carriage, which is going to be a strength athletics check.
Alright, oh, fine.
Or if you're like Baldur's Gate, you could just jump.
Yes, jump everywhere.
Athletics.
Yep, strength athletics.
10.
Yeah, as you sit there and you try to get up, there's just really not a good way to get onto the carriage, and so you're not able to get up there, and unfortunately that means you can't quite get into melee range with her.
I will use my boulder attack to assuming I put it 10 meters down.
Sure.
Take a follow ability again.
Okay. So, you kind of square your eyes at her, and you, in your mind, you kind of mark her, swearing on the name of the Dark Lady that she's going down. She blows a raspberry at you. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
Cool. Relwyn, you are in a nondescript area, nondescript room with four exits. What do you want to do?
No, I'm going to touch my own chest. I'm going to cast banishment on myself.
That is a fantastic idea. How is it going to work?
Suzanne.
I have to.
I put it in the chat. Because the final, if the target is native to a different plane of existence than the one you're on, the target is banished with a faint popping noise, returning it to its home plane.
So, with the way that this particular spell works,
this says I can't banish myself.
the only thing you can do while this spell is in effect is attempt to escape. So as you try to cast the banishment spell, it simply doesn't work.
Is that not attempting to escape?
Nope. It's how the spell is worded. The specific way that the spell is worded, the target remains there for the duration or until it escapes the mage. The target can use its action to attempt to escape. The only option you have while under the effect of this spell is to use your action to attempt
so
to
it's
escape.
not. It won't even let me cast a spell then.
No. So you don't waste the spell slot. You also don't waste the action. But the only thing that you can do while you're here, the only option available is you can use your action to attempt to escape.
Unless my friends manage to do enough damage to her,
Yep.
but she has advantage and everything. Well, fuck me. All right, fine. In that case, I'll use my. Can I do other things that aren't actions?
You can kind of wander around and stuff like that, but as far as anything that's going to affect the spell,
It won't affect the spell.
yeah, you can do everything. Like what exactly would you like to do?
Like, harness divine power and reclaim a spell slot. That's a bonus. I believe it's a bonus. Like, just let me actually.
Yeah. So my thought process here is, if I don't let you cast the banishment spell, because the only thing you're allowed to do is use your action, it feels kind of like cheating to let you cast a different spell or use your bonus action to do something else.
A harness divine power is a bonus action.
Yeah.
All it does is reclaim a spell slot.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I'm just trying to think in an attempt to be fair. My justification for why you can't use banishment is the only thing you're allowed to do is use your action to escape.
Yeah, which I'm using I'll use my action if I have that option. But is it saying I can't? So you're saying I can't use a bonus action then?
You know what? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and do that. I already feel kind of bad about the banishment thing because it was a really good idea, but it just doesn't fit with how the spell is supposed to work. So yeah, you can go ahead and regain a spell slot.
Okay.
Again, it's an 8th level spell, and if it could be beaten by a 4th level spell, it'd be a pretty useless 8th level spell.
Okay, and so I guess using my action, I'll just pick a direction and go.
Okay, go ahead and make me an intelligence check.
Dimension 20. No.
Okay.
I already know. I did like roll low enough.
So you start wandering your way through this little labyrinthian situation. Every time you take a turn, you'll keep going for a little bit, find a dead end. Start to retrace your steps, find another dead end, find another, and you feel completely lost.
That bitch dizzy yet? Rowan's just like he says that. Like, she's clearly not dizzy yet.
And I have to remember that she has legendary action she can use as well. So at the end of your turn, Elizabeth is going to actually use her legendary actions. And she looks at Vala and goes, "You're annoying me!" And she points the wand, and this bolt of lightning streaks directly towards you. Make me a dex save, please.
30.
30? Shit. Damn bards. You only
In the
take...
words of Squirrely Dan, must be fucking nice.
As the bolt of lightning comes towards you, you kind of dive out of the way and you get grazed by it. And as soon as it touches you, it goes off again. And I need Lillian to make me a dex save as well.
Alright. 17.
That's a fail. So...
There's no danger of that spell bounding back on her, is there?
Nope.
Probably
Chain
only
lightning
enemies.
doesn't come back.
I know, but it was like bounded. It was like I was wondering if she could be part of your own daisy chain.
I mean, theoretically, the spell itself just says 3 bolts then leap from that target to as many as 3 other targets, each of which must be within 30 feet of the first target. So it doesn't clarify that you couldn't choose yourself. I just don't know why you would.
No, yeah, so that's fair. So the word is target.
Yeah. But full damage is 45, lightning damage, half damage is 22, right? Is that the right number?
I think so.
Yeah.
So I take 22 damage?
You take 22, you made your save. A 30 is just barely high enough. You bastard. And now it's her actual turn. All this stuff is weird. All right. So she turns to Liliana and goes, "You're too close. That's not fair." And she points at you, and suddenly this cube of force just appears around you and completely encapsulates you in a magical cube. And she goes, "Yay! Now it's just you and me!" Pointing at Vala.
It's at times like this.
And she's going to go ahead and end her turn then.
Okay.
And that's you, Vala.
So, just to state the obvious, the Cube of Force is not a concentration spell, correct?
It is not.
Okay.
I guess it's invisible as well, but...
Okay, so, yeah, I'm just gonna hit her with Eldritch Blast again, I think, because that'll give me the most
bang for your buck. Eldritch
most
Blast is
attempts.
a remarkably powerful cantrip.
Yes. Yeah, I'll cast Eldritch Blast at her.
All right, because she's a dipshit, she's going to counterspell it, because it's just who she is.
And I'm gonna counterspell again.
She's getting really upset with you at this point, and
She's doing that, Miss Piggy.
no, she just keeps saying, "Stop it! It's not fair!" Go ahead and make your attack rolls.
Bring my friends back. All right. First one. 23 to hit.
Definitely hits. Roll damage.
5.
So that's 2. Okay.
A natural 1 for 12 to hit.
She just goes completely off.
26 to hit.
26 hits.
3 points of damage.
So that's 1 point of damage. Okay.
And then 19 to hit.
That hits as well. Though you're finally starting to roll under 20.
7 points of damage.
So that's 3. So that is 3 con saves.
That's 3 con saves.
Okay. Makes it. Makes it. Makes it.
He has advantage. I know she has advantage because she's had advantage on other things too.
Am I doing this wrong? Oh, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I'll have to... Gotta remember that. All right, never mind. But no, I've only been rolling once on each one of these spell saves. But I forgot
I mean-
about another aspect of this particular stat block that changes things massively.
I mean, she has to get she has to roll below a 10, I believe, because my damage is not.
Yeah, the DC is
Above.
at 10, and concentration checks are con saves. So she does get to add her con save modifier, which I won't tell you what that is.
It's like 11 or something.
Technically, if
I
you
would
roll a
not be
nat 1, that counts as a failure. So there's
Yeah.
at least a 1 in 20 chance.
I would not be surprised if she's got like an amulet of health or some bullshit.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I mean, my next move is to try to grapple her a dimension door 500 feet straight up.
Sure. Is there anything else that you want to... anything else you wanted to do?
I will use my movement to get closer to her.
Okay. As you start moving closer, she goes, "Phoom!" and she casts a bolt of fire at you. So that is going to be a 20 to hit.
That hits.
What's the average of 40-10? Is that 6 times 4, 24? Is that right? Yeah. So you take 24 points of fire damage as this firebolt goes and just sears into your chest.
All right, I'm still up.
All right. Next up, we return to Vincent, who keeps forgetting to use his legendary actions at the end of Argenta's turn because it's the only person that's technically in initiative with him, and he can only use legendary actions at the end of a character's turn. Damn stupid cloaky thing. Yeah, he's Argenta, he's going to start wandering away from you slightly. And you are welcome to take an opportunity attack against him if you would like.
Sure.
All right, go ahead and make it.
We'll have reloaded the whole gun, so let's just see it. Yeah. 27.
27 hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Give me a third strength save because I blew all these charges.
It's a nat 20.
Alright, 11.
11, cool. Okay, so as he moves away, you're going to watch as the swords all drop to the floor. And sorry, I have a lot of options here and I need to make sure I'm making the right one. Yeah, he's going to kind of crick his neck a little bit and he kind of taps his chest and his chest starts glowing and then he moves even faster than he did before. As he charges at you, he unfortunately only gets one attack this time. But it is a 29.
Yep.
Okay, so grand total of 32 slashing damage plus 7 force damage. And then another strength save that's mostly pointless, but you might fail once.
24.
Ignore it. That's the end of his turn. Argenta, it's your turn.
So she's gonna fire at him one more time with Fury.
Okay.
24.
24 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
And give me a strength save.
Is he also making concentration checks, or is it just Elizabeth?
He's supposed to be making concentration checks. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, I was curious if it's her.
When he had animate objects on, he should have been making concentration checks, and I just forgot. He doesn't anymore, but he'll be making concentration checks for the haste spell now. He got a 21 for his strength save.
Yeah, he's fine. 11 damage.
11 damage, cool. And now I need to make a concentration check. Which that could end poorly for him. Yeah, perfectly fine. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Yeah, she'll drop Fury finally and pull out her dagger as she goes to stab into him.
Okay.
So this is going to be a 23 to hit.
Yeah, it definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
So that's going to
There are numbers under 20. Like, they exist.
You'd rather not take the chance.
So that's going to be 15 points of damage.
15, cool.
Yeah. And then she'll, not looking at him, just kind of looking into the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Give me another task and don't let me lose this, because she's looking ragged.
Okay. Do you have percentile dice?
I do.
Roll me a percentile.
I'll get my metal ones for fanciness. There's. I believe that's an 8.
8. All right, as you sit there and you kind of implore the darkness doesn't respond. Yeah, at the end of your turn, he's going to take another slash at you. Actually, you know what? He's not. As he... Sorry, I'm reading the haste description here. And it says, that action can only be used to take the attack, one weapon attack only. Dash, disengage, hide, or tooltip not found action.
Yep, I saw that.
So, I don't know what that last action was, but I'm certain it was useful. Yeah, he just kind of looks at you and he points his sword at you, and this bolt of fire comes out of it. It's a 24 to hit.
We are in melee. I don't know if that matters for him.
Yeah, that was with disadvantage.
Yep, that hits.
Okay, 22 fire damage as this bolt of fire just hits you square in the chest.
The shadows dissipate as I go unconscious.
Okay. So you guys watch as Argenta, you see this kind of darkening, and you watch as Argenta's unconscious body just kind of drops from the sky and lands on the ground. And Vincent stands there looking more annoyed than anything else. Elizabeth, are you still dealing with these? Well, they're not playing fair, Vinny. Gods. That ends that. So it brings us to Liliang. Vincent's about 10 feet away from you now, is where he appears.
I in the cube.
Oh, yeah, you're still in the cube. You can still take an action, but you're in a cube. It's an invisible cube. But you know where it is. Like, you do the whole mime thing. You can tell exactly where the cube is. So, if you'd like to do something in your cube, it's a nice cube. Like, you think, like, in this market, especially in this particular area, you think this cube could probably go for, like, 200 or 300 easily. Yeah, property value. Like, and this is prime real estate. Like, it's right on the edge of town, so that there's that bit of, like, elusiveness where you're not, like, surrounded by all of your neighbors. So it's good real estate.
Could I try to get out somehow?
It's a fantastic question, and I have to figure out how the spell works.
I don't even know.
This is a little bit beyond anything that you can cast. Trapped. Creatures out of the cage can't leave by non-magical means. Yeah, there's... As far as you can tell, it's a cage. And you don't see any method of getting out of it. Like, you test it with, like, your sword and that.
Yeah.
The sword doesn't make... It doesn't even make purchase on it. The sword just stops whenever it would come in contact with it. So if there's other things you want to do, like you still have your action and all that. You just can't do anything to anything outside the cage.
Yeah, yeah, wait,
Okay.
what happens if I try to use my Easter walking? I'll try my Easter walking to see if I can get out that way.
Absolutely. So as you kind of shift into the ethereal plane and you start walking through the cage, like you've walked through many solid objects before, you face plant. The cage seems to exist in both the material plane and the ethereal plane.
Alright. Yeah. Then I'll get back to...
All right. That brings us to Relwyn. What do you want to do?
I want to use my action to try and get out, which I know I'm probably not gonna. She's got high too. Intelligence check.
Intelligence check. Yep.
Dirty 20.
Really?
I want to actually show this. I know you're leaving, but
Very cool. All right. You have an intelligence of 16? I didn't realize
plus
that.
3.
Cool. All right. So as you're sitting there, you keep running into dead end after dead end after dead end after dead end. And finally, you go in a place and you're starting to get really, like, it's starting to feel hopeless. The maze doesn't make sense. You will take turns and you will go to a place that you've been before and you'll find a dead end. And then you'll go to another place where you thought it was a dead end and it's a clear way. And so you just keep getting more and more frustrated, and suddenly something feels different. You're not quite sure what it is at first. And then suddenly you realize something smells different. You can smell fresh air. You realize that you've been trapped in this area and it's so dank and musty in here that you didn't even realize what the scent was, but you smell fresh air. You definitely smell fresh air. And so you start following your nose to get to that fresh air, and it's getting stronger and stronger, and suddenly you have to shield your eyes as you go around a corner because suddenly there's a very bright light, and you can see a doorway bathed in light at the end. And as you run through, you are suddenly standing next to an unconscious Argenta, a very annoyed looking Vincent, a Lillian who's doing her best impression of a mime, and Vala whose dress is all scorched in the front, with Elizabeth kind of standing there going, "It's not fair! It's not fair! You're not supposed to come back!"
For my bonus action,
Uh-huh.
he's gonna make a show like he's drinking a potion, which he is,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna drink a potion, and I'm gonna glug it. I'm looking at the scenario around me, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm now going to tell them, so disappointing. The Dark Lord is so tired of your constant, useless actions in this city. Are you totally incapable of doing anything else original? Absolutely pathetic.
Okay. And I'm assuming you'd like to make a deception check.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Normally this would be made with disadvantage, but if you just drank what I think you just drank, doesn't that give
Yes,
you
I
advantage
did.
on it? Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna make a flat deception check.
I have to figure out one thing how do I make myself proficient? I know there's a way I can do it. I've done it.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna make her insight check. So
Okay. Wait.
depending
So
on
okay.
what you do, that doesn't stop. That's not gonna change my insight check. So you picked the exact right person to lie to.
Well, I might have both of them.
Well, I guess I'll make his check too. Neither one of them has an insight ability. That's a little bit better. Yeah, okay.
Oop, that's cocked. Oh, that was close. Oop.
So what do we got?
Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. 16 plus 8.
26 or 20 16 plus 8 24.
Okay.
Before. So they both
Because you said flat roll, yes, because it would have been disadvantage, but now it's just a flat roll.
just a regular roll. Because they cancel each other out. Both of them look at you very perplexed. Because you got a 24, I think you're going to understand. You do not think there is a world where you can convince them that you are here on the Dark Lord's orders. However, you have lied convincingly enough that they are very confused. And it's going to take them a little bit of time to figure out exactly what's true and what's not. So you're not going to be able to lie your way out of this situation, but you 100% have kind of stunned them for a little bit because you said it with such conviction. And they're just sitting there going, "Wait a minute, the Dark Lord told us to kill you. Then why aren't... Huh?" And they both just look absolutely perplexed. Yeah. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
That's everything. I mean, just action, bonus
Okay.
action, and everything else. I'm actually moving just like I'm pointing at Argenta, and this like all this time you've only managed to drop one of them.
And so she looks at you unbelievably confused, and she goes,
She fucking dizzy yet? God damn it!
well, she's no longer concentrating on the maze spell because it ended.
Well, I know, but that still hurt. Knocked the hell out.
So she looks...
Well, I'm sorry. Question: where did Vincent reappear?
next to the carriage.
I'm assuming the monoxide is dissipated at this point.
Yeah, well, it dissipated almost instantly because it's a wide open space.
Yeah.
What was a heavy gas? I was hoping.
Yeah.
There's enough of a breeze and everything that it couldn't, because it's due to the fact that it's heavy. It just spread out.
It would have had to been in the carriage.
Yeah, or somewhere that would have concentrated it because it's heavier than air. It just created this thin, like inch layer along the ground and just kept spreading out. So unless you guys were like sticking your nose in the ground, it would have had no effect. Cool. So it's Elizabeth's turn, and she is utterly perplexed. She's like, I don't understand. Dark Daddy told us that we were supposed to kill you when you came.
Oh, you don't understand. You don't seem to understand a lot, do you?
Stop it! Vincent, make him stop it! And Vincent kind of turns to you and goes, Elizabeth, the orders were just for these three. And Vincent kind of turns to you on Elizabeth's turn because she's not taking any actions right now. So are you saying that you... I'm confused here. What is your relationship with the Dark Lord?
Do I have a chance to respond?
Yeah.
Or is it, okay.
This is basically Elizabeth's turn. She's not going to attack. She's not going to do anything this turn. So because we are using all of her actions to do this, we can have a decent conversation.
Well, it's clearly the Dark Lord gave you a task, and yet he's also one for hedging his bets, considering the fact how many of his generals have been utterly fucking useless in dealing with them this entire time. And here you are playing games once again.
Go ahead and roll me a deception check with advantage this time.
You're
They
fucking
no
kidding me.
longer instantly ignore you.
Well, that was a 19 on the first roll. Let's see if I can get better. 16, so 19 on the first part.
So what's the grand total? With
So, if it's,
7. Gives you +8.
yeah, it should be because my charisma's +2 plus proficiency. That's 6. So that's 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 25 or 27. Sorry, was it
Okay.
19
So
plus 8?
you see him just roll his eyes. Typical.
Have you wondered where some of his other generals are? There's one idiot who's still wandering the mists, for all we know, who's been very disappointing. You know what he does. Death is a mercy he doesn't give.
I told him this was a waste of our time. I could have very easily just taken you all out the second we got here, but he was like, no, let your sister have her fun. But Vinny, it's not fair. Elizabeth, the adults are talking. Fine. I get this is probably very annoying to you. It's annoying to me, but we still have 2 of them left to kill. I'll let you choose. Do you want the annoying one or the annoying one in a box?
I'm sorry, when you said annoying one, I thought you were referring to your sister. I thought you were trying to placate the Dark Lord.
Stop! I will tolerate a lot of things from the Dark Lord. Do not insult my sister. If you do it again, I really don't care who you work for. I will send you back in pieces. Do we have an
Dark Lord is the
understanding?
one who has the low opinion about what's going on. Just to be clear.
Choose even or odd.
Do I get a deception on that? Because I said the Dark Lord is the
No,
one that's
this isn't deception.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
him getting upset. So choose even or odd.
Odd.
Okay. And he looks at you, and just again massively fast. Or he can't because it's not his turn. So he doesn't do anything. But that's the end of Elizabeth's
Okay.
turn. Brings us back up to Vala.
For reference, Argenta's bleeding out on the ground.
There's a
I
small
know, but
pool
there's-
of blood there.
I have already allocated 5 of my healing light dice which is the max I can do. Nope, that's too many. So I'm going to use my healing light to heal Argenta 14 hit points.
All right.
I'm going to use Disguise Self to make it appear that I'm dropping Disguise Self, when in actuality I'm casting Disguise Self to alter my appearance.
All right.
And just be like, do you think the Doglord would actually send the 3 to you without testing you first?
Okay. Go
This
ahead.
is an amateur operation.
Go ahead and.
With how convincing I have been, does he get a flat roll now?
Well, I'm because I have to figure out. We first have to deal with the fact that you're trying to like stealth cast a spell. So why don't you show? Why don't you roll me? This is weird. By the way, hello everybody. Thank you for the raid. More cowbell. It's wonderful to see you all. We're going much later tonight than I originally intended, but these guys are doing nonsense, so I need to finish this. I'll let you choose sleight of hand or arcana. You're going to have to make me one of those checks to make it look like you're dropping Disguise Self instead of casting it. And it's going to be a high to total, because damn.
I mean, isn't this like me doing a performance of magic?
All right, fine. You bastard.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
I rolled a 3.
You damn bards. All right. So you succeeded, especially since Elizabeth is just pissed off at this point, and
Doesn't
Vincent's
really
not
understand
paying
that.
attention to you. So sure, they think that you've dropped Disguise Self. I'm going to give you a flat roll for your deception check, because it should be at like triple disadvantage, but that's not a thing in 5th edition. And Relwyn has been lying his ass off for you.
$25.
All right. Neither of
You
them.
didn't count on 2 piles of horseshit, did you, Jody?
Neither of them are trained in insight. Let's see how this goes. Nope. Nope. Elizabeth is just beyond confused. She said, Vinny, what's going on? Why do they keep saying all these weird things? Weren't we supposed to kill them? And Vincent's like, I have no idea. Everyone stop, okay? He turns to you, Rowan, and you can see his sword is still gripped in his hand. You can see the kind of vicious intent in his eye. He wants to impale you. But with everything that's going on, he's going to go, you! And he points at Lillian. What the hell is going on here?
Are we going a little out of initiative?
We are out of initiative at this point.
Okay.
You have broken the encounter.
So Argenta hasn't moved. She's heard like what's going on, and all they see is Argenta's body predator, like it was never there, as she goes invisible, and she's going to start sneaking off.
I thought you were making
somewhere.
death saves.
No, I got healed.
She just got healed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be sneaking away so that when I'm returned back to sight, they can't see me.
Okay. As you are crawling away, Vincent just pokes his sword into your cloak and goes, "Stop that."
Oh, I'll just deal with this myself. Enough! And I'm going to cast a spell. I've had it enough with all of this. They're going to stay dead this time, and I'm going to conjure Celestial.
Okay.
9th level.
Shit, you can cast 9th level spells now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. 9th
Yeah,
level
cool.
spell's perfectly fine. And Elizabeth isn't going to counterspell it because she doesn't realize what's going on. Nope, you're fine.
Say hi to a Battle Force Angel.
So you guys watch as Rowan sits there, and you can see the kind of anger and frustration in his face as he starts concentrating. He places a hand on his surecoat, and the symbol of the Dark Lady starts glowing this deep indigo light, and you suddenly see this like Jacob's ladder like blue light just kind of pierce the permanent cloud cover of Crucitalia. And you watch as this little pinpoint of light starts getting bigger and bigger, and you watch as the clouds part, and this winged celestial creature starts descending. Her armor is ebony and indigo. You can see she's carrying a relatively massive looking round shield with the symbol of the Dark Lady emblazoned on it, and a sword that is curved into the shape of the holy symbol of the Dark Lady to make it kind of a strange scimitar. And as she descends from the skies, she eventually lands near Relwyn or wherever in the hell you want her to land. And she kind of just looks over to you like asking for permission.
And Relwyn just goes, he doesn't have to look up because the spell says friendly to my companions.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll simply look up and just go, just deal with them. And
she nods. Does she have her own initiative?
It depends if you want her to roll for initiative or you just want her to go after me.
Just because it's easier, and it is 12:30 at night right now. We'll say that she's gonna start the initiative, so she'll go after you normally, and we'll just start the initiative.
I am last anyway. I'm like, I'm next to last.
You're next to last. So what specifically is she doing?
She's gonna take a swing on Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, cool. Why don't you go ahead and make your attack roll with advantage, because Elizabeth is not expecting this.
Okay. Well, let's see if I can do better than 12. 13, okay. So that's 19. No, 14, sorry, 20, dirty 20, because, god damn it, I can't add in my head right now.
Well,
because it's 14 plus 6.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Sure. The attack hits. Go ahead and roll the damage for me. You guys watch as this very large, like she's easily 12 foot tall, entirely muscles, covered in incredible ebony and indigo armor.
She is swinging up with both hands. It says, if used with 2 hands.
Does she actually have a shield, or did I just add that for flavor?
No, she doesn't say she has a shield.
I added it for flavor. She's got a 2-hand.
I'm sorry, I didn't even pay attention to that.
I added it for flavor, so cool. She's gonna swing with both. It's shield. You can still 2-hand with a shield for this particular person. Sure, she's big enough. So she just comes over, and Elizabeth is still just completely perplexed about what's going on, and she sees the creature coming up, and she's like, "Vinny, what's going on?" And the sword just comes down on her. Do you have the damage for me yet?
Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, I got so perplexed on that. This is a D10. 9 plus 3, 12 slashing damage, plus 4d8 radiant damage.
Just give me the total, because this isn't a spell, and her damage resistance is damage from spells, so it doesn't actually work.
So 19 radiant damage.
What's the grand total? What was it? You said 31?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I had to bring the page up because actor's page goes away and I click literally anything else.
She is immensely upset. The blade comes down and it impacts her shoulder, and you watch as blood kind of spurts off. The first indication of that she's really taken any damage in this fight. You can see that, and she lets out this inhuman wail. Wah! Finny, make it stop! Is that the only thing it does, or does it have more nonsense?
That's just action. I don't believe it has it doesn't have any bonus actions.
It's a multi-attack, isn't it?
I thought it had multi-attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it does. It does make 2 attacks. I'm sorry. I literally multi-attack right above.
Okay, so go ahead and make another attack. And as she's sitting there,
I'm not joking. I have to show you this. Oh my god.
I'm assuming that's a nat 20. I just see blurry words.
It says hell yeah.
Oh, cool. So go ahead and roll your crit damage. That means she can't shield. Cool.
2d10.
If you type into roll 20 to make things faster, because
I'm rolling off of this. Okay, so that's 6 damage off. Okay, so that's 6 damage there, and then that's going to be so now that's 8d8 radiant.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at the spell right now, so I.
Well, it's from the attack. It's not even the spell.
D10 plus 3 and then 8d8. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's 35 radiant.
So what's the absolute grand total?
41.
41. Things are going poorly. All right. As she lets out that inhuman wail and she goes, Finny, make it stop! The angel comes around and just slashes across her chest, and you watch as the attack just slashes across her dress, and you watch as just these spurts of blood go out. Finny!
I wanted to say, is it possible to get? Because I think does he appear next to her? Sorry, not Vincent. When Vincent reappeared, did he appear next to?
He's next to the carriage. She's on top of the carriage.
Okay.
And I believe the angel thing can fly, so it just went up there.
So he'll just be if she can be interceded, just whether they're both in the range or not.
Sorry,
I don't know in terms of being next to melee to both of them or not. I don't know if that's possible.
Kind of. Yeah, sure. If it moves in a certain place, it can probably be within melee of both of them. Sure, we'll go with that. Yeah, at the end of its turn, she's gonna go swoop and vanish.
I can't counterspell.
As the doors shut on the carriage. And Vincent, understanding that he's in a very, very bad place, is going to jump up into the carriage. However, you do still get an opportunity. You still do get opportunity attacks against Vincent. So anyone that's within melee range now, and that includes Argenta, since he kind of stopped you.
Yep.
And that's Battle Force Angel as well. That's 23.
Yep. 23 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Argenta's still technically invisible. So that
you don't get advantage because he can see you.
Fun fact: when your brain's not fried, you can roll multiple dice at once.
Then I'll roll again because I rolled those at the same time.
Sorry. Yeah, he is true sight. So.
Okay, that's 23.
23 still hits.
So that's. Do you need it broken up, or do you know all?
Just all the damage. He doesn't have unless you're doing either poison or necrotic damage.
Okay.
It doesn't matter for him.
So altogether, that's 24 points of damage.
So 24 from you, and then Argenta, how much for you?
12.
12. So that's 36. My math is right. Okay. All right. And then, as he gets in there, you hear him just go "Shah!" and the carriage runs away. As you were all standing there in the... Go ahead.
I don't know if it matters or not. The Battle Force Angel can just keep speed with them. I would presume, like, yeah. Oh, I should actually see. The fly speed on the Battle Force Angel is 90 feet.
Okay. We'll deal with that in a
Okay.
second here. So carriage goes off. If you would like to send the Battle Force Angel against the carriage, we will deal with that in a little bit.
Okay.
Is there anything else you guys want to do as the carriage careens off, heading towards their manor?
How far away is it?
It's moving really, really fast. So within the first round, it's probably gone at least 150, 200 feet.
No, I'm not doing anything then.
Okay.
I would like to attempt to Eldritch Blast the wheels off.
Argenta will say, if we're away from the carriage, we need to hide.
Okay. So as you attempt to damage the carriage with the Eldritch Blast, they just reflect directly off.
Do not like that.
Yeah. It's the one thing that they did do smart. The carriage itself is immune to spell attacks.
Argenta will literally spit out like a mouthful of blood and hobble towards the alley.
So, like, sorry, I want to make sure. If by the time they've taken off, I can't do, like, they've made it the distance so far.
They're about 200 feet away by the time you would have an action. If you have a reaction that you want to use, that's fine. But by the time you would have an action, they would be about 200 feet away.
Okay, so they're still out of range then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, as the dust kind of settles, you can see the eyes in the sky are still going, but they seem kind of oblivious to the fact that you guys are slinging spells like crazy, making incredible amounts of noise. And as the dust kind of settles, Liliane is unfortunately still in the box. But unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it for today. As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/JojoTrainerJody. John, if you're still here, thank you so much, more cowbell, for showing up, and everyone. I see DK there. I saw Swift. Let me see other people that I say.
Thank you to Mention 20.
All of you wonderful people. Thank you so much for tuning in. You came in right at the end. I normally don't keep these guys this late. They picked a fight with the big baddies of this section, and things went crazy.
We picked a fight.
So
we were going to.
McLindle, hi. I run stuff here every Wednesday, starting at 9 p.m. Central. If you guys want to watch my various things, and then starting December, every Monday in December, I'll actually be running a brand new tabletop RPG that I have never run before. It's called Lancer. And the mini campaign that I run in the month of December this year is actually going to be Metroid themed. So everyone is going to be bounty hunters. They're going to be given a job by the Galactic Federation. There's going to be space pirates and Metroids and all that fun stuff. So that starts December, I think, 2nd. The first Monday in December, we will have our session 0, where we all build our characters. And then the next 4 Mondays, we're just going to be playing a brand new system, doing lots of fun stuff. So feel free to join us for that. Yeah, Lancer's really, really awesome, McLindle. I've been itching to run a game in it for years. And every December, for anyone that doesn't know, I run a campaign that's not D&D from a system that I've preferably never run before. So last year we did Fabula Ultima. The year before we did Power Rangers. This year we're doing Lancer. So anyway, it is very, very late for all of these lovely people who have been so kind as not to complain about me keeping them like an hour and a half late. So that's going to be all for me today. But thank you so much again, John. Really, really appreciate the raid. Thank you, raiders and everyone. Yeah. It's very, very late now, and I don't know anyone that's streaming right now, so I'm just gonna end it. But thank you so much, everybody. I will see you guys next time. All right, bye bye.